But ass.
Good. How are we doing today? Welcome to another show. Let me go ahead and turn this down because, chat, you want to know how you are, reaching the end of an era and you're now transitioning into a new era, right? You know how, like, every once in a while, you start to understand those indicators, those patterns that you see that are just saying that, you know what, the flow is moving that way. It's moving in a different direction because we can't keep doing things the way we've always been doing things for years now because clearly it's no longer working. So instead of staying on the defensive, we got to switch up. We got to go on the offensive, right? So again, yes, you have situations where as we're reaching the end of an era, a turning point, okay, essentially you got little indicators that pop up that show you that there's a different way of doing things, right? And no better way to exemplify that in the pill popping space. Okay, in the pill popping spaces, we have witnessed numerous pivot points, like with the most famous one, the Andrew Tate pivot, right? Everyone knew that when the Tate wave was coming in and he was building up the accolades and being the most googled person in the world, everybody wanted to follow the Tate model. Why? Because they saw Andrew Tate, they saw the model he was following, and they saw how madly successful he got. Yeah, although it was brief, because fast money leads to slow consequences. And you can ask Andrew Tate; he's dealing with those slow consequences right now. Right at the end of the day, right, a lot of people saw in that moment in time that yes, Andrew Tate was the wave. Let's start repurposing our mannerisms. Let's repurpose the style and everything we did to fit that so we can garner some of that same Andrew Tate magic clout juice that he got, right? So and we saw that, and the red pill era kind of pivoted that way, and unknowingly to them at the time, it would lead to their own destruction, which we're witnessing right now. It's they're destroying themselves because of the Tate strategy. Because you shine fast and bright, you burn out quick, right? So that's what's happening. However, what you guys don't know is there have been previous pivot points even before that, right? Even before a lot of these pill poppers came on the scene, right? Even when we go back to the pickup artist days, right, where the men were doing these sly stuff with the game, and the what do you call it? I guess they called it game at that time, but they did certain things with what is it, Roosh and the other guys, right? There was another iteration, because before that it was men, complaining on blogs, right? And this is where Rollo Tomasi actually will find his starting place in the Manosphere, right? On his road to his inevitable godfatherhood, right? He will start his role back there writing blogs and articles about men and women, relation dynamics, and, even coining the hypergamy term. According to him, I don't believe he coined that, but at least he owns that phrase, but he claims that it's his phrase. So, you die with that ship, Rollo. That's entirely up to you, bro. All right, but yes, that's where young Rollo Tomasi, okay, got his start, writing the blogs before he graduated to become the Godfather Redpill. Now, he also, what he doesn't want to tell you, was he globbed onto that wave with the whole Roosh V and all these other pickup artistry, and what is that other guy, Neil Strauss, and he rode that wave. Matter of fact, it was that rave that he rode that kind of turned him to the Rollo you kind of see today, mixed with the pseudo intellectualism he tries to present, right? So you combine those two, that's where we see the Godfather Rollo, where he pretends to be this smart guy that knows everything about hypergamy and female nature and all that bullshit. In reality, he actually doesn't know anything. The guy thinks that getting a vasectomy as a young adult lad in your 20s, right, is a great idea to be rich and to stave off being distracted by women. Just snip and sterilize yourself, young men, because that is the quickest path to financial success, being a high value man. Because who doesn't want more sterilized men out there in the world, according to Rollo. So again, that shit is wild. But yes, that's how he got his godfatherhood. Now we're fast forward 2024. The red pill is doing right, at least in ideology anyway. So what's happening now is there's been some new grumblings amongst the scene. All right, some guys who are, they're looking at themselves as the next generation, the next iteration of the red pill, of the manosphere space. They're looking at what's happening in the state of the manosphere right now, and they're saying, you know what, we got to change some stuff, folks. We got to change it. We got to do it, because if we don't do it right now, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen is everyone's gonna forget about us. We're gonna go down the wayside. No one's gonna know who the fuck we are. I still want the money in the cloud. This is crazy, right? So they're saying it's time for a change. And honestly, who could blame them? Because for the past 3 to 4 years under Rollo's management, right, what do we have? We've had the Manosphere play sort of defense, right? Everyone's playing defense. Everyone, is playing the whole protection. It's like, we gotta protect ourselves from the women. All right, all we do is get in, all the men together, okay? Just all the boys, all of y'all online, y'all come to one space, and we have one common enemy: the women. Okay, we got an X-A on the women day. Okay, so a lot of that is starting to change. A lot of the guys now, the younger guys that are coming up, they're looking at the old guards, and they're saying, listen, the whole MGTOW iteration, the red pill iteration, where we'll stay away from women for a while, and then we become high value men, and then after become high value men, the women just pop out of nowhere. Like that. That was the running ideology. Just stay put, guys. Focus on yourself. Ignore girls, and then when you somehow become high value through magical means of belief, okay, then you will magically just attract the women. Yeah, they will just smell your high valueness emanating from your pits of success, okay, and they're just gonna waft right over. That was the long running ideology, because Rollo coined the hypergamy term, right? As long as women like to fuck up, right? Like literally, they like to, fuck with the top tier guys. So they don't fuck down, they fuck up, right? So that's Rollo's hypergamy term. So if according to him, women like to fuck up, and they go for the richest guy, and because that's what high value is, right? Well, then, in theory, then that means you men out there just focus on being high value, and then once you become high value, the women will come. And this birth a wave of courses and book selling and programs and events and all these things that we associate pill poppers for being scammed for. This birthed all of that because, again, if they're saying, okay, high value is the thing you men should reach for, okay, and once you reach for it, the women will come because the goal is the women anyways, and some of y'all don't even have the skill to get the women. Well, okay, now if you don't have the skill to get the women, certainly you don't have the skills to be successful. So if you don't have the skills to be successful, guess what? We got a brand new course here for you. This course, you take this course, you're gonna be high value. The women are gonna come. Okay, it's gonna be quicker. You might even achieve this goal in your 20s. I mean, some men, it takes them to their 50s to do it, right? So they go in and out and they dupe a lot of these boys. They buy the courses. They don't end up being high value. Go figure, right? But the real high value is made in the scams along the way. So that's the real journey or message, I guess. All right, so that they don't understand that's where all of that was birthed from. Okay, now the new iteration of the red pill, they're coming out and they're saying, you know what, we don't want to play that defense shit no more. All right, we're not sitting here talking and waiting and trying to be high value. I mean, we support the high value term. Okay, we support everything with it, but we not trying to sit around and just wait for the women to come. Okay, we wanna be aggressive. Okay, we want to go get the bitches. We want to go get them. Okay, we're tired of trying to buy these courses of trying to make it to success with your fucking crypto programs and whatnot. Okay, we actually want the women now. We want to be broke guys, kind of, and we kind of want to get the women now. Well, okay, so that's the new iteration you're seeing, and the person who's leading this, at least kind of, is no other than Mike Sartain. Yes, oh my goodness. You guys wouldn't believe Mike Sartain, the talkative bastard. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, so he is now leading the charge, kind of, right? You can see he has he basically made his difference between him and Rollo very, very clear. And the reason why this is surprising is because for the longest time, Mike Sartain has kind of been looked at as, kind of Rollo's gopher type of guy, right? Remember when Rollo Tomasi was supposed to debate Destiny on Manosphere, or at least what a high value man is, because Rollo couldn't answer the question. Yeah, the guy who has been selling courses, programs, and all this other bullshit, books. Don't forget the books, right? The guy who's been doing that, he himself don't know what a high value man is. Go figure, right? So he was supposed to debate Destiny and what is it? Sneeko, right? But what ended up happening is, they get to choose their own partners, and Rollo chose Mark Sartain, right? And Mark Sartain basically just derailed the debate and then turned it into a conversation we didn't even know what the fuck it turned into, right? But again, that's what Mike Sartain does, right? So we all kind of thought Mike Sartain, Rollo Tomasi, they're like this, they're like two beans in a pod or some shit, right? But who would have thought that Mike Sartain has some serious just differentiation in how the manosphere should be conducted, right? So right now he's seeing Rollo's iteration as the standby, defense type, which is getting the manosphere into the bullshit it's getting into right now. Whereas Mike Sartain's version that he wants to bring up, essentially, it's a more aggressive version of the manosphere. Essentially, we're seeing history repeat itself. Remember back then, the whole pickup artist days that women hated so much? Well, guess what's coming back, fakes? Guess what's coming back? Yeah. The men now are going to be a lot more aggressive in chasing the women, right? So instead of just sitting around and talking about, these women, they hurt me. They hurt my soul. They hurt my life. They took my money. They took my money. They took my money. Child support, right? Instead of worrying about that, these dudes are saying, "Nah, we don't care. We still want the women." And on some level, I agree, because all this shit of being scared, because I don't want to deal with women child support. I don't want to deal with women alimony. I don't want to deal with women false accusations, right? All these different things. Right, what we've been telling you guys for the longest time, it's all fear mongering, right? That's what these guys are doing. They've been fear mongering to get you to just spend time with more men, which on the surface you should find that sus, but that's a different story, right? That's the whole scheme, though, to get you to fear the opposite sex, whip up this gender war, get y'all hating the women while they get y'all corralled in and they take your money. So again, we've been telling y'all it's not worth it. Just you had a bad experience with a woman. Fine. This shit happens. It's dating. It's how that works, right? But there are plenty of other women out there, and you need to be experienced in figuring out how to understand that. Now, for the longest time, when Rollo ran this operation, okay, you couldn't hear that. They didn't want to hear that. They'll call you a simp for even trying to tell you to say, hey, go compliment that woman. If you think she looks good, go tell her she looks good. Trust me, she'll love it, right? No, we don't want to do that. What if she falsely accused me of being a creep, huh? What, you don't know how to compliment a girl? Like, that's crazy. Like that shows that it's a microcosm of something deeper going on with your mind, right? So again, instead of teaching these men valuable skills to actually communicate better with the opposite sex, the way the Manosphere has been ran so far was running away from that. Now we're seeing a resurgence in the idea of, how about we just go get what we want, right? So that's what Mike Sartain is bringing in this video that we're about to react to. Some of his points are just hilariously stupid, insane, and you can call it a crash out. It kind of was, right? But then the other points, which I just mentioned right now, right, it kind of makes sense. Stop being afraid of women. They're just women, bro. Like, don't be afraid of them. Y'all shouldn't even be avoiding them on your path to being a high value guy, because the moment you forget or avoid women on your path to be a high value guy, guess what you're not gonna get by the time you're high value? Women, because then you don't have those skills built up for it. So again, we're kind of right on that, and it's interesting to see how the red pills come in full circle. So without further ado, let's go and play this video. But before we do that, don't forget to sponsor the show. How do you do that? It's simple. Just hit the like button below the screen, and congratulations, you're a sponsor. Let's get it.
Defense. Man, so I don't even consider myself red pill. I know Rollo's my best friend, but I don't agree with. We disagree about a lot of stuff.
Hold up, can y'all hear the audio? Hold up, something happened with the audio. Hold up, chat. Hold up. Because all of a sudden I could not hear the audio real quick. Give me 1 second. What just happened? See, dude, this fucking speaker's been getting to me, bro. Hold up, chat. Let me update this, update that. We'll pull it from here. Yo, can y'all hear that, chat? Let me know. Hold up, chat. Give me 1 second. Can't hear it. Hold up, chat. Hold up.
We agree on 85% of stuff, but sometimes we disagree. Like, I would vote for a woman to be president. He would never do that. We disagree on a lot of stuff. The thing is, for me, I do believe in what most of the red pill stuff. There's offense and defense. Man, so I don't even consider myself red pill. I know Rollo's my best friend, but I don't agree with. We disagree about a lot of stuff. Not actually, we agree on 85% of stuff, but sometimes we disagree. Like, I would vote for a woman to be president.
So right off the bat, you got Mike Sartain all of a sudden talking about how him and Rollo differs, right? All of a sudden, I disagree with Rollo on a lot of things, right? Oh, I mean, not a lot of things. In case Rollo's watching this interview, no, just 85%. No. I mean, I agree 85%. The other 15%, it's little. But as he goes on to explain, it's actually major. But what I found hilarious is like, hey, listen, all right, the reason I'm different from Rollo is I'll vote for a woman president. I'll vote for Kamala. Yeah, see, Rollo would never do that. I mean, Rollo wouldn't do that. I'd vote for a woman, okay, because I'm not scared of women. Yeah, I'm the new iteration. We not scared of women over here. I'd vote for a woman president. I mean, way to be progressive of you. Oh wow! I mean, the Manosphere is showing a real progressive side to them.
He would never do that. We disagree on a lot of stuff. The thing is, for me, I do believe in what most of the red pill stuff and the Manosphere in general as an idea, as a concept, I support. But the Manosphere is defense. The Manosphere is don't get into a marriage without getting a prenup. The Manosphere is understanding hypergamy why she will cheat. The Manosphere is defense.
In a way, he's not wrong, but let's see where he's going with this.
Game is offense. Game is how I go out and meet the girl. Game is I need social circle. Game, that's offense. I need my body on point. I need to get in better shape. That's game. I need to merge sets. I need to have pre-selection. All these different things. That part is game. Game is offense. When Eric and I would discuss game, 15 years ago, there was no discussion about whether or not a woman was a conservative or a liberal. I had never one time in my life had a conversation with Mystery about whether or not a woman came from a good family. Not one fucking time ever did me and Matador ever talk about body count. Not one, that term never came up.
Yo! And the thing is, chat, you notice how now they're echoing some of the same sentiments we've called out, right? Because this is the same thing that a lot of men in the pill popping spaces, they've been trying to call out. They've been saying, oh, a woman's body count, it matters. It matters, it matters, it matters, it matters. Yeah and no, right? Yeah, it matters if you care about it. And no, it doesn't if you don't, right? If you care about a body count, then it matters to you. If a woman's body count matters, then it matters. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But the one thing we tell you guys over here is don't let that hinder you from a chance at a good relationship, right? Because a lot of times we put these little barriers in our way where these guys in the pill popping space are trying to convince you that no. If you put these barriers up, the women are going to come. Trust me, you're going to get good quality women. And all in its entirely, you're really just limiting yourself to the pull you would have otherwise had. Because let's just think about it, right? The one thing that we all can agree on is most men don't get action like they think they should, or they don't at all, right? I don't know how, a lot of y'all in this pill popping spaces, so it's obvious, right? So it's obvious, right? But again, a lot of these guys don't get action to begin with. So if you're a guy, okay, and you're coming to the pill popping space because you're not getting action, but then these guys are putting things in your way to limit your chances of getting action, but then calling it, saving you, right? And helping you pick better or get more action. I mean, why would you fall for that? But essentially, that's what the red pill has been about. We got to care about body count. Like, again, I would even though Myron is young in the fresh and fit space, right? I would still consider them part of the old iteration now, right? The old iteration that echoes the old talking points of body count matters, hypergamy matters, all these extra bullshit made up by this weird ass godfather grandma of the red pill space, Rollo, right? Myron's part of that space because they all echo the old sentiments. The new sentiments is kind of what a lot of liberal guys have been saying. It doesn't fucking matter, dude. Look at her character. Is she a cool person? Do you guys vibe when you're all together? Are you able to be yourself? Does she pass the check, right? If she does, then her past really shouldn't matter, right? The only time you're saying it does is because you're looking for something more. You're looking for a way to essentially disqualify yourself or disqualify her. So this is what we've been saying. None of that shit matters. But Mike Sartain now is saying, well, listen, I differ from all these guys. I'm not red pill. Bullshit. 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 I'm not red pill, but listen, when me and my boys get together, we don't ever talk about body count. Am I right? Yeah, but we've been telling y'all that from the get-go. Chat, this is going to be the new red pill. You're watching the red pill change. And honestly, you could say it's for the better. I think it's so, right? Because the old version, they became white supremacist supporters on Twitter. So that's what they're doing now. So they don't. So at this point, somebody's got to take the reins on whatever's left of this pill popping space and turn to something else. So it's so interesting to see pickup artistry become the new resurgent, even though we've seen that before. Shout out to Don with the 5, says, good job for Sartain. He's actually a pretty decent guy. Duke, he's friends with Alex, so y'all three can have a good chat. By the way, Alex won that debate. Well, yeah. Listen. The thing is, Mike Sartain, he's just got to stop with the old iteration red pill bullshit. Now, it seems like he's not flirting with that bullshit no more, right? Because back in the day, Mike Sartain and I would disagree, right? Or maybe not. I don't know what his talking points a whole lot back in the day, but it seemed like he was globbing on Rollo's knob really, really heavy, right? But again, we would disagree on maybe the concept of body count. But it seems like we agree now, because back then I would have said it doesn't matter. Is she cute? Is she nice? Is she pass the vibe check? If she does, I don't care about her body count. Okay, let's have fun, right? But most people in the red pill at that time wouldn't have agreed with me. They would have said, "Oh, Duke, what? You don't care about her body count? What if she slept with 20 guys?" What that? I don't fucking care. I'm 21. Like, again, the more you guys stop worrying about those things, like, the more fun life would be. Because that's the whole point, right? You want to have fun, right? So stop limiting yourself and just go out there and live. Let's continue.
When I be out there running with fucking Adam Lyons or Vince Kelvin or Owen Cook, we never talked about body count 15 years ago. Never. Because pickup was only offense. It was just offense. There was no defense. We never had a discussion. When I would sit there with if I was with Neil Strauss or whoever, we never had a discussion about a fucking prenup or her taking half our money in divorce. That came later with Rollo. So Rollo, like,
see, look, he slipped up. He slipped up and he said it. And he knew he said it because, yes, he's right. The old iteration of the red pill used to be about game with Neil Strauss and who's that other guy, Mystery and whatnot. Now, here's the thing. The whole thing with going up and talking to women and approaching women, I actually never found an issue with it. Matter of fact, I preach that still right now. Instead of like going on Tinder and doing this, even though I use Tinder too, I'm all over the place, right? But again, listen, I would recommend the strongest relationships are found when you approach a woman in public. When you go talk to a woman in public, you're building a hell of a lot of skills. Not only confident in just approaching and talking to a woman, but confidence in talking to a woman because you can understand how to navigate a conversational flow structure, right? So again, it's just getting that practice. We tell you guys all the time, go out there. So a lot of guys, you guys weren't wrong when back in the day you go out, you approach a woman. If she's not feeling it, fine. Let's go talk to, and play that game, right? That was fine. Where it started to get bastardized was when people started coming up with these weird ass, cringy ass pickup lines that weren't sincere. It wasn't them being their honest self or the true self. They were essentially just lying to these women to just sleep with them. And that's when women caught on and said, oh, so because like afterwards, because guys would pretend to be whatever the fuck they was, say whatever the fuck to the woman to get her to bed, right? And then when the woman finally realizes, oh, this guy's been lying about everything he said, that's when the fast pull comes into play, right? And then women got sick and tired of that because a lot of these weirdos took that whole approaching women to a bastardized level. They started lying, playing games, playing tricks, and then what happened? Well, the women adapted, right? So then they started realizing, oh, if I hear another guy say something like similar to that, that's a red flag. And that's the game women started playing. So women stopped falling for the pickup artist games and the pickup artists started losing, right? So then they switched up to something else because what would the woman do, right? Whenever they see a guy come up and approach him with a cringy pickup line, they look at you like, yeah, real original douchebag, right? So women will be repulsed by it. And the guys who were just getting to the pickup game at the time, they didn't know why it wasn't working anymore because the women already caught on. Y'all were bullshitting. Y'all were lying. Y'all weren't being sincere. Y'all weren't being original. So that's what killed the pickup artist industry, all right? And then it circulated back to essentially what we're seeing right now with the Rollo generation. Rollo was the new iteration because he saw the pickup artistry, how it was on the decline, and said, hey, if these women are just going to call you creeps, well, it's not because you men are horrible and actually are using cringy pickup lines. No, it's because the women would rather fuck rich guys. There's a term I coined. It's called hypergamy. All right. And hypergamy just means the woman wants the better value man. So if you approach her and she turns you down, well, it's not because of you and your cringy pickup lines. It's because she already has a rich guy that she wants to fuck with that's better than you. So, yeah, hypergamy. That's a problem, right? So Rollo then changed that. So guys, what happened through his generation till right now, guys stopped approaching, guys stopped caring, guys stopped, they at least for the most part, the whole mission was to ignore these women at all costs. And that's where the little festering of the gender war started to build. And of course, you got the Donnie boys and all that. Kevin Samuels kind of stabilized it for a bit, but over time, with him gone, it was just a matter of time till that dam broke, and then we got the bullshit that we got again. But Mike Sartain, he did slip up. He did slip up, and he mentioned that the pill poppers got defensive when Rollo stepped in. All right, that's the truth. Men stop being men and going out there and talking to women, at least in the online space. I'm not talking about real world, because dudes still do that, right? People still do that, right? Men still do that, right? But in the pill popping space, a lot of these guys stopped and they bought courses to avoid women. Make it make sense, right? So again, Mike Sartain, don't be embarrassed. You're correct. Rollo did cause men to be a little bit weaker today and less aggressive. I understand. And now he wants them to be neutered too.
Eric started Eric is like the first offensive coordinator. Right? Eric is like the not the Sam Weish, Bill Walsh. Eric is like Bill Walsh. He's the offensive coordinator for the and the head coach of the 49ers when they won those Super Bowls. Eric von Markovic is like Bill Walsh. He's the first offensive coordinator. Rollo is like the first Bill Belichick. He's like,
hey, listen, hey, that's a crazy comparison. Comparing Rollo to a Bill Belichick, especially knowing what we know about him. Listen, the Homeland Security is investigating him because he's the biggest hater in the Red Pill. Okay, because he's seen the Red Pill change, but he doesn't realize it's changing because it's his fault, right? He's been running the operation and he ran it into the ground. So again, that's a wild comparison. But okay, aside the CJOJ with the 5 says, if they still plan to run through women sexually and offer no commitment, the new Manosphere versions pickup artistry still suck. You're right, but what choice do they have, CJOJ? All right, they're clearly losing with this new shit, with this whole Tate wave, and it's not working anymore. And they know that. But again, this is why I keep telling you guys, the Red Pill isn't dead, because there's still an overwhelming amount of men that are trying to understand women, right? And with this whole tech age that we're in, where people are trying to avoid talking to each other, or they even calling people on the phone now, it induces anxiety in women, right? And sometimes men, right? So like, again, it just shows you how crazy different social with men and women, socialization with men and women is, back in the day versus now. So even if men tried to bring back the old ways now, society is a little bit different to accept that. So they find themselves relying on these online platforms for help, to navigate how this should work, right? But essentially, they're not getting help from guys who know what they're doing or dating in this day and age. They're getting help from nerds who faked it till they made it, and then when they made it, they pretended they got the secret sauce, and they're just duping a bunch of other guys. So yes, the other iteration is going to come back with the pickup artistry, but little do they know that it's not going to work. It won't work, at least not for what they want it to, right? Because society is a little bit different. You do actually have to know how to talk to women just by texting. That actually has to be an important skill guys need to learn, how to text a girl. Because like, if you don't, a girl could just forget about you, right? Like one day you can have she can have all the interest in the world. Y'all can have fun conversation. And then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, it's done. And like, you don't know what is going on. You're texting her, you're getting no play, you're trying to figure out what was going on. And a lot of guys, they can't get that. But actually, that's just dating in 2024. I'm just being real. But a lot of guys who are following this Red Pill, at least the old iteration of that, and you're not engaging with women now, you are not going to understand, especially 5 years from now, how to communicate with women. You're going to be left so far behind. It's like technology. It's just the moment you lose and you miss out, you're just going to keep missing out. And before you know it, you're going to be an involuntary celibate. That's why we tell y'all, don't listen to these fools. Go talk to the girls. All right. So, but yeah. Shout out to M. Dot with the 10. Let's get a W in the chat for M. Dot. M. Dot says Rollo is the same person selling a player's handbook despite being married for over 25 years. People like Rollo make the Red Pill less credible. And it shows. Listen, when a married guy is in charge of a space where single guys are supposed to be roaming about and trying to find themselves a woman to settle down or a woman to have fun with, right? You can see the drastic change. When a married guy is taking over, right? Everybody is just, settled and it's all defense. Oh, avoid this woman. avoid her. Oh, what about her? No, she can get you for alimony. And you could be trapped with a kid for 25 years. Hold on. That sounds awfully familiar to your life. Like, wait. Don't tell me, Rollo, you've been using this whole red pill shit as escapism this whole time from your own marriage, right? Because you're too scared to get a divorce, right? I'm just speculating, but it might be true, right? We don't know. We don't know. I always find it interesting why a married guy is vested in keeping other men single. I just maybe he's just not in a happy marriage. I don't know, but people should look at that sus, right? Because if you're following a leader, you'd want that leader to at least reflect some of the characteristics of what you aspire to be, or at least what you want for yourself. So for instance, if I want to be a fit guy, I'm not going to look to a fat trainer. I'm sorry, you don't inspire me, right? It's the vice versa. If I'm a single guy and I'm trying to go talk to women, I'm not going to look to a married guy for advice. It doesn't make any sense. It's actually counterproductive to what I want to accomplish, right? So let's continue with this mess.
The defensive coordinator. He was like the first ever defensive coordinator. It's so funny because they never met until I introduced the two of them. I introduced Eric and Rollo together. They came together on my show one time. They'd never met before. But like, I really do think people need to understand, like what you're saying, you don't want to get stuck on one side or the other. You need both. You need a mechanism for saving money and a mechanism for making money. They talk about this in The Millionaire Next Door. There's offense and defense. With women, there needs to be a mechanism for offense. How do I attract women? And a mechanism for defense. How do they not take advantage of me because I understand their nature and continue to generate attraction even though I'm in a relationship now? There's an evolutionary hypothesis that when men get married, their testosterone levels should go down. This was a hypothesis postulated, and of course they do the test, and of course you guys know the answer. Their testosterone levels go down. Then there was a second hypothesis that when men get divorced, their testosterone levels should go back up, and they test it, and of course you guys know the answer. Their testosterone levels shot back up.
Bro, what's up with this nigga's hairstyle? Like it looks like from the front he has a mohawk, bro. That's why I call him. He's the pill popper's Johnny Bravo. Y'all don't know who Johnny Bravo is, right? Look it up, bro. He looks like Johnny Bravo right now. He's got the black t-shirt. He's got the thing gelled up to the top that looks like a fro, but we know it's not. It's like what are we talking? He's talking about, yeah, we got to go on the offensive, baby. We got to go on the offensive, right? The Manosphere for so long, it's be on the defensive, okay? Don't get it wrong. We got some old guy running it for so long, but don't worry, Johnny is here. Okay, good old Johnny's here, and yeah, we're gonna go on the offensive. Hey, baby, how you doing? That's what, bro. He bringing it back. He bringing it back, and just like Johnny Bravo, he's gonna fail every time. Okay, because again, it's just not gonna work in today's time. At least 100% of it, anyway.
Another evolutionary hypothesis is that when men are surrounded by attractive women, that their testosterone serum levels increase. And of course, UNLV did this study. They did it with sports cars and they did it with gambling. And when men are around attractive women, their testosterone serum levels increase and they take bigger bets. They take more risks because throughout our evolutionary history, only 40% of men and 80% of women have reproduced, which means that bottom 60% of men had to take chances in order for them to have access to women. Throughout history. Now, a lot of times we take cold approach is taking a chance. It was a way bigger chance 500 years ago to do cold approach than it is now. But that's why we still have approach anxiety, is because of the chance that we're taking from when you consider Pleistocene Homo sapiens. If you screwed up and said the wrong thing, I think it was Eric who told me this. He goes, your genetics are unapologetically weeded out of existence if you go say the wrong thing to the wrong woman. But yeah, that's where that whole concept comes from. But yeah,
I like that. I like the offense defense analogy, and actually I use offense defense analogy as well as it pertains to game. But to that point as well, if you use like a martial arts analogy, defense is very important, and at the same time you do want to go into offensive cycles as well, because if you have really good defense but you can't finish a fight, then if the other person has more endurance than you, eventually they'll wear you down, right? So it's like a jiu-jitsu concept, right? Having good defense and knowing that you can't be submitted, you can't be choked out, you can't be arm locked, whatever, that's important. And at the same time, you have to transition to offensive cycles to win the match, right?
And this is what we've been saying. It's fine. Listen, Mike Sartain, honestly, I got to give you a round of applause. you should have came out with this a long time ago, because this is what the red pill should have been. Yes, you should understand women and understand how you protect yourself from toxic women, because if you go in blind believing, oh, all women are great, all women are so amazing and perfect and they will do no wrong, you're gonna get scammed. You're gonna get fleeced. You're gonna get bamboozled by a woman. Okay, so it's understanding of yourself to go ahead and have good discernment to know what's a good woman and what's a woman that's gonna backdoor you. Okay, and a lot of times men don't have that distinction at all. Okay, so that's what we say. But just because you got done wrong by a woman who is clearly, you know, crazy or someone like that, right, does not mean you should just give up on the whole game entirely, try to protect yourself until you're a high value man, and then all the women come and then weed that out. It doesn't work. We've been telling you guys for the longest time. A lot of you guys, honestly, chat, we got to be honest here. We're just moving this aside. A lot of men are going to realize within the next 5 to 10 years, they got scammed by this era of the red pill. I'm telling you guys that right now. A lot of men in the 5-10 years from now are going to look back that bought into this high value concept. They're going to realize they got scammed, right? Because we've been telling you guys this whole make money till you're rich, and then when you become rich, the women just come out of nowhere. It doesn't work like that. The only people you will attract that know you got money are gold diggers that want to take your money, or women who are interested in you because of your money, not because of who you are or your personality or any of the characteristics that you neglected to display because you were leading with your money, right? So again, we've been telling you guys that the women aren't going to flock out of nowhere, right? And especially if you ignore those social skills, critical social skills, right? Again, by the time you get to that point where you have money and you realize women aren't coming, but you have to go get women anyways, you're going to lack the social skills and awareness to even discern what a good woman is from a bad one. And this is why some of these guys, they get fleeced. They end up in these weird lopsided court cases where they're paying thousands, tens of thousands a month, $1,000 a month for child support or alimony, all that, because they didn't have good discernment. We've been telling you guys that it's only now that the red pill is facing its own version of a decline, that a lot of these guys who are prominent are saying, you know what, we've been on a defense telling men to protect themselves, protect their assets, and this and that, and this and that. But we actually haven't been really giving the men good skills to actually go pursue the women. Matter of fact, some of y'all can say, well, Myron, who you said, Duke, is part of the old iteration of the red pill. Myron at least sold books on game. Okay. Go ask Myron to do a pickup challenge, right? Go ask him to do a pickup challenge. Go talk to that girl that he can't do it. Go ask Fresh, go spit game at that girl over there. He won't be able to do it. You guys have been buying courses from men who don't have the skills to actually execute. That's why y'all getting scammed. Y'all not seeing the results. Even just a little bit that Myron showed you on Sneeko stream of rizzing up a girl on a webcam, Myron couldn't do it. He turned that whole thing that was supposed to be a date into an interview. Yet y'all pay thousands of dollars for their courses. You're being taught by guys who actually don't have the skills themselves, right? So that's what I'm saying. A lot of guys 5 to 10 years from now who bought programs in the last 2 to 3 years, when this new iteration really took hold of a lot of young men, y'all are going to realize you got scammed. You bought courses from coaches who actually never played in the game. Am I wrong, though? So he's got a point. We need to mix offense with defense. Don't avoid women. Don't start genders wars with them. Go be with them. They're fun, but have good discernment. That's why y'all would look at me like, oh, dude, I can't believe it. You're a simp, right? They used to call me a simp. Because I was married, I got divorced, but I still deal with women. Yeah, because I don't let that shit hurt. Like, oh, I'm hurt. She hurt me. What? No. Like, I'm cool with my ex, and I'm cool with women, right? Because you don't let that shit affect your past, affect your future. This is the same shit y'all tell the women all the time. Oh, the women are so disgruntled. They let their past affect the future with me. But what are you guys doing? Y'all doing the exact same thing. And that's what I'm saying. If you got done wrong by a woman, it fucking sucks. Let's move on. There are plenty of other women out there. Don't let it just let it roll off the back. And honestly, you get better that way. But again, I'm glad they're finally understanding that concept. Let's continue.
Right. So I like to try to keep guys in the offensive mindset as much as possible, because the defense, I personally think that right now the red pill stuff is being blown a little bit out of proportion. And again, I don't know Rollo, but I do respect him. I have read his book. And I respect all the hard work that's gone into the red pill stuff and the evolutionary backdrop of everything that we do. But I think there are too many loud voices in that scene. And again, as we've talked about, it's getting merged with political undertones. So guys are kind of like, you know, are they getting moved by the political aspect?
Like, fuck women and fuck Ukraine. They're like, fuck women and fuck Ukraine.
Yeah, it's becoming weird, right? I mean, look at it. It's become bastardized so much. The guys who were the old iteration have been losing so badly. They've gone political, right? And we were calling out the political grift when it was happening, didn't we, chat? We saw the bro. I'm keeping y'all on top of everything because a lot of y'all see the bigger content creators who cover the stuff periodically or from time to time, right? What they would do is they'll see like a video that Fresh and Fit puts out. They're leaving or quitting YouTube and say, ha, that's an indicator. Red Pill's done. But since we're just here looking at how this shit flows, because we understand what these guys are doing, right? We said, no, they're not dead or it's not dying. They're simply grifting. They're grifting into a new thing. It's politics. So, oh, watch. And then what happened? Like literally not 6 months later, everyone is becoming political now, right? And that became the new thing. The red pill is now, let's fuck women and then let's fuck Biden and Kamala or some shit, right? That's what it become. So it basically got a bunch of incels, put them together and made them even more weird, right? And it's like, first of all, most women, they'll care about politics, but in terms of scope of dating, it's not a matter of fact, it's not something you even want to bring up while you're dating until like you guys are well acquainted, right? So it's a non-factor, but these guys are making it everything. And again, you got Mike Sartain's version now that's saying, yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't vibe with those weirdos over there who are just fuck women and politics now. Like, what are we? Are we a bunch of guys who are trying to get together for the betterment of dudes? Pause. Or are we just just a bunch of white loving fucking weirdos who don't like women simultaneously? Like, what's going on, right? I'm glad you guys are finally asking the right questions. Let's go.
Yeah, basically.
They're like, fuck women and fuck Israel. I'm like, what the fuck? Where did this come from, bro? What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
This woman cheated on me. I hate Joe Biden. What are you doing?
Yeah. And for me, like, I try to take the political conversations out of my coaching. I want guys to focus on the game. And it doesn't mean that politics is an important part of our life and lifestyle. And especially if it's very important to you and you want to convey that to a woman, right? But game, that the answer, in my opinion, to a lot of guys' issues is not learn as much about the red pill as possible. It's learn about as much as you can about the game and implement it, and let the red pill stuff be a supplement to the offensive cycles.
Now, this is where I have to actually put a pause on it, because when they say game, I don't even know what the specifics are talking about, right? But again, if you're talking about game as in, which I think I know what they're talking about, which is back in the day type of game where you're just trying to like basically, consciously navigate a conversation with the woman, with a flirtatious tone to it, maybe while not being all the way truthful as well, right? And then you lost me, because again, it's not going to work in today's day and age, right? Again, you got a lot of times, even women today, they'll be straightforward with you and what they want, right? Sometimes they'll just tell you, hey, listen, I'm not looking for anything serious. You're right. You look cute. Let's just get down. Bro, I'm telling you, girls of today are different from girls who grew up in the 90s through the 2000s era, right? Like, it's different, bro. It's like, listen, bro, or the 80s through the 2000 era, right? So again, I'm telling you guys right now, most girls, they don't care about that nonsense, okay? So you got to be straightforward with them. Like, you just got to be on that like timing. So if you're talking about game in the sense of let's just build good conversational skills and talking to women, right? So if I compliment a woman, like it's a sincere compliment, and she can sense that it's sincere, and it can spark a conversation. Because again, like, women are people. That's what you dudes have to understand in these spaces. Talk to them like people. Like, again, you guys are just overcomplicating a lot of things. This doesn't have to be overcomplicated. If you think she's cute, Find something cute about her that you like, and then tell her that you like that about her. People love hearing compliments. I mean, think about it. When somebody compliments you, do you feel like, how dare you just say I look good today? How dare you tell me that, right? No one is saying that, right? So you tell her, hey, I like you. I like what you got on today, right? You're gonna get a positive response. Utilize that positive response to start a genuine conversation. Women are not stupid. They can tell when a conversation is not genuine. So when these guys are talking about game, if you start coming at a woman with this disingenuous bullshit pickup lines and, oh baby, you're not gonna win. You're gonna lose, bro. It's not gonna work out.
Like the red pill stuff is what you're learning when you're in a relationship. When you're in a relationship and you're not going out gaming and you're, being monogamous, you should be reading up on the red pill stuff as quickly as you can.
Even in a relationship, though, I think even in a relationship, don't let the red pill stuff totally taint your relationship. The point where you think, you got to check your girl's phone every fucking couple days because she's probably texting a dude because she's hypergamous and she has another dude waiting, don't be completely blind. If your woman's going out every weekend without you and she doesn't want you coming with and you're suspecting things, but even in a relationship, I believe the game never ends. I believe that we should continually court our woman,
Exactly.
So. I love what you said about, go ahead.
That was a very good
about fighting. Like they always say, like, that's the most common phrase you'll hear is never leave it to the judges. So like you could have the best defense in the world, but like you have to be able to, like you said, to win the fight. And you don't want it to come down to like, somebody else's decision, or like in dating, you don't want it to become a situation where she's reaching out to you later saying like, why didn't you ever ask me for the date? Or why didn't you ever, make it known?
What Michael was saying was a very good way to think about it. Really good way. The way I thought about it was like, game is getting women and red pill is like complaining about women in some kind of way. There's a better way I thought about it, but
no, listen. I don't know what to talk. Okay, red pill is basically game plus women hating, right? They actually don't like women, and that's the new iteration of it, or at least the soon to be old iteration of the red pill like we know now, right? It's focusing on the flaws of women based off of certain experiences that the male influencers have had, or what they say they have, but they're reflected by the audience, right? So again, it's just one of those things. So it's a mix of those two things where they're not even trying to build a bridge to connect with women. I mean, they do in a sense, but the efforts are minuscule, right? So essentially, it's like with these courses that they write, they're empty courses, but they're telling you, hey, at least we're helping you get better and deal with women, even though those courses won't actually help you get better with women, because the guys who are creating those courses are still not good with women. So that's the thing. So the red pill, they mainly focus on isolating the men and keeping the men trapped in get this, a matrix, right? Because when they're trapped in the matrix, they keep funding the people who are facilitating set matrix, right? So that's what it is. The red pill now is just garnering all the boys and the men and just keeping them in one space and not letting the women interact with that. The only way the women can interact with that if they're being exploited, okay, to be used to garner more money. Okay, so in cases like the whatever podcast, you see them bring the women out, but it's not like they care about what the women think, or if they even invite women that they purposely know may not know a whole lot about things, right? So all in the good favor of exploiting them. And now the women, a lot of them, they don't know any better, because at least they're getting their Instagram and OnlyFans subscription filled up on the back end, right? But again, that's the new age red pill. Use the women as props to get more money by exploiting them, and then using the men and manipulating the rage off of these exploited women, all right, that we selected, okay, and then monetizing off of that, right? So again, that's what it is. But it could be something different. it could have been something better. Okay, it could have been something, I would say, great, but something that was actually genuinely out there giving facts to help men, right? That's why, like, I shout out to guys like Steve Dean and some of these other guys too as well, right? Because they talk about certain social aspects that a lot of people in the red pill space are missing. And if you think that's bad, you should look at the black pill guys. Like, they're like red pill, but it's on a completely different level. They're fixing all of that stuff instead of your characteristics and personality like the red pill guys would do with the whole hypergamy and choices and whatnot. They fix a lot of the stuff the black pill guys do to your looks and like your physicality and how you were. So if you're like a short guy, well, they think it's over for you, bro, right? If you're like a black guy, some of them, they think it's over for you, right? Which is crazy, by the way. That's some of that little racist shit be coming out of, right? If they think that your face is of a different symmetry, it's over for you, right? So again, if you think the red pill's bad, those guys down there in the black pill, it's a completely different misstep, right? So, but again, the shit fucks downwards, right?
It's something along those lines where, I don't know, I lost my train of thought.
Ice, I look at it like it's not so much complaining about women, but it's more like red pills understanding like the structures of the government or something greater than that has to do with relationships. So it's like, to me, I don't like this whole.
Oh, I remember now.
Go ahead.
So what I was trying to say, and the way I think about it is, game is practical, and red pill, it's like it's dating advice still, but it's kind of like impractical dating advice. Whereas game is like, okay, the answer is similar to perhaps my first ever video I did with Michael Sartain, or one of the first videos. The answer is get more women. More women is like gonna solve a lot of your problems.
No, no, it's not. Listen. I was with you right up until that part. I don't know what you're saying, bro. I don't know what you're more women means more problems. You got to be careful. Like, again, that's the thing. Y'all got to be careful. Again, stop making your lives about women. Okay, listen. Should you have skills and build the skills to go talk to women? Yeah, meaning it's like managing your time, right? You have time to wake up, eat, visit family, right? Have time to yourself. If you got kids, time for your kids, right? If you're single, then you have a little bit of time budgeted that you can go out and socialize and mingle and, deal with women, right? Unless you find something serious along the way and then you decide to settle down, right? But you should not, because this is where the red pill gets it wrong. They hate women so much, but they make their lives about women. That's why they write these bullshit courses to teach you how to get multitudes of them, even though like they can't even get themselves one most of the time, right? You shouldn't make your life about acquiring women. That's a useless life, okay? It's an empty life. That's stupid, right? You should acquire the skills to talk and conversate with women, but not to just bed them and make women your all-time thing, because then, bro, that just makes you a slave to your own desires, and you're not really a man at that point because you're being controlled by something else, right? We don't want to do that. We don't want to make women all our lives. And I would say that vice versa. Women don't want to be making men their entire lives. I mean, we can look at women who make men the sole fixation of their lives and look how crazy they get run off, right? So again, it's one of those things you want to have time for not only yourself, but for other things too, right? So I disagree with that. That's a horrible advice.
Not every problem you have, but it's a very
the
practical answer.
The problem is tradcons and the red pill don't like my answer of get more women. I do not think you should sleep with hundreds of women. I think hundreds of women should be attracted to you, though. Yeah. There's two different things. And you don't have to sleep with hundreds of women. But women, everywhere you go, should be attracted to you. So that when you deal with them, you understand this concept. It's like, okay, I'm hearing this girl tell me what she wants, and then I'm witnessing this is not what she's actually saying. Like, she's saying one thing and doing another. And it's okay. I don't hate her for it. But I'm also not naive enough to fall for, I just want a guy who buys me flowers. No, you want a guy you're attracted to buy you flowers. You aren't attracted to me yet. So if I bought you flowers, it actually would lower my attraction with you because I'm paying too much attention to what you're saying. And if I had any ability to look at your previous, boyfriends or whatever, which I do now through social media, there's a digital footprint for me to be able to tell what you've been attracted to before. I can tell, like, again, I had a girl come on my show. She goes, I'm a sapiosexual. I just like guys who are intelligent. And I was like, stop talking, Savannah, because I know your two ex-boyfriends One of them is a porn star. The other one's a male stripper who you fucked on browsers. And the third one is a male model who's a VIP host. And
bro, so now, see, this is where like Mike starts. I gotta differ from whatever ideology you spit. Because now I'm hearing this and I'm thinking whatever iteration this dude is gonna take the red pill in is probably still not gonna be good, right? Because like, why are we stalking their social medias? Like, let the women do that. If they want to stalk your social media, fine. Why are we stalking their social media, right? Talking about, so let me get this straight. If a guy is trying to take a girl out on a date, right? He matches with her on Tinder, but so happens she linked her Instagram bio and you go on looking and shit, and you go on with the date and she's telling you, I only like, spaghetti with, Parmesan cheese. Ah, bitch, gotcha. See, God, I checked your Instagram, man. No, you don't like spaghetti, okay? Well, what is this photo you took with some, with some casserole or some shit, right? That's like weird, right? So essentially it's still presenting a level of insecurity, my dude. Like again, if I'm linking up with a woman, I'm not, let me look at her past real quick through social media, right? Unless you're like trying to check out her photos and see if she's got more revealing photos out there. Like why are we trying to look at her Instagram, bro? I don't even know if I want to take it that deep with her yet. I don't even know her on an Instagram level yet, right? Or even a Facebook level or whatever social media you're using, right? I just want to go out on a date and then see how things work, right? I'm not trying to stalk you with type shit, whatever, right? That's not good advice, Mike. Mike, no, Mike. You don't want to be stalking her social media, right? You find out who they are through conversation. That's skill, okay? People tell on themselves all the time. You just got to listen.
You just told me you're sapiosexual. Your last 3 boyfriends can't even read. Like, stop. Like, so the thing is, nobody would ever be able to do that. Why? Because they don't know her. Like, I knew her before she came on the show. And it's just so crazy whenever I hear this. I had another girl. I said, hey, ladies, have any of you guys ever slept with a guy on the first date? And then 2 of the girls who were on the panel, I'd already slept with on the first date, but they didn't raise their hand. And I was just like, oh, so this is what it's like. They're just not going to admit it. Got it. Okay, I understand. I was looking at her, I was looking right at her. I was like, you slept with me on the first date. And I'm like, but I didn't say anything, obviously. But it's like, you don't understand female nature, but you do need to understand some of these concepts. They're going to say one thing and do another. It's not because they're bad, but when you understand, it's like, it's partially because they have a narrative in their head that they need to continue to believe in. As long as you understand that, then you can get along with them just fine. It's like,
yeah, that's called being a hypocrite. Congratulations, you just discovered a very human trait. Oh my goodness. Yeah, people are hypocritical. That just is what it is. Men and women do this shit, right? So that's why it's more incumbent when you look at yourself. That's why when you find yourself hating something about someone, right, or something about someone just gets you angry, look at yourself. That's when you should look in the mirror, because whatever it is that's getting you mad is a direct reflection of what you are either repressing or what you don't want to be, or what you want to be, or whatever it is, right? So again, you got to really think about that. So like, most people are hypocrites. I say all people are hypocrites. Realistically, most people want you to seem a certain light. So Mike Sartain, I'm pretty sure there's stuff you've done in private that if somebody would have said, hey, raise your hand if you've been on some 69 for 69 type bullshit, right? You probably wouldn't raise your hand, but some girl who've been with you will probably know you've been on that bullshit, right? So again, it's just one of those things where you guys are just solely focused on the women still, and you're not just looking at yourself and saying, oh, okay, that's a very human trait. I'm going to have my good discernment on me, but I mean, I'm not going to let this affect whatever, right? So shout out to CJLJ with the 2 says they should start by seeing women as human beings. Yeah, they shouldn't be. The problem is they're scared of women. A lot of these guys, right? They're scared because they see women as, like, I don't say non-human, but they see women as this other species that are beyond reproach or some shit, right? Where, like she thinks she's so up there that I can't even approach her type shit, right? And it's like, that's such a wrong idea. Is not even funny. And that's what these guys have. So they're just walking around with this crazy weird ass delusion about women and what they think women are, not realizing a lot of the times they're exactly as insecure as how you're feeling at that moment, right? no one is perfect. We're all human beings, right? You could look at somebody, their life looks great, everything looks perfect, but inside they're falling apart. You will never see that, right? Oftentimes, most people would never. So again, just because you're feeling crushed on the inside and you're looking outside, seeing things are perfect, it's not that. Everyone's a hypocrite, just like you. We're putting on faces. This is what it is, right? So if you see a woman and she's just gorgeous and she looks just beautiful, like the Greek goddess Athena just presented herself on earth to you, all right, she probably still insecure. She probably just insecure, right? And again, don't put people on pedestals. Don't even, again, people say that with women, but just don't do that with anybody generally. That's why you don't want to meet your heroes ever, because they'll disappoint you. You put someone like Will Smith on a pedestal, you meet him in real life, it's like, wait, you and Diddy had a link one time? All right? Again, it's just one of those things, but let's continue, bro.
Dealing with puppies.
That's why I love sarcasm so much, because it's such a good barometer for that sense of accountability in a woman. Like had I not known this, had I been in your situation, but I didn't know this about her Instagram, and she says she likes sapiosexuals, then I can just be like, yeah, shut the fuck up. Like, no, you don't. And,
right.
And reading her then based on how she reacts to that, because usually a girl will be, when she is called out, a lot of the times when she trusts you, she'll be like, yeah, you're right.
No, you know what another good one is like when you push it to the other extreme, it's like, I don't know why these girls just don't take all these fucking guys' money. Just take their money, pretend that you're going to fuck them, just lie to these dudes, just take all of them. The girl's like, yeah. Like,
right.
You're being
kind of like Andrew Tate, huh? Yeah.
sarcastic. And you see how far you can take it. You know what you should do? You should drug these dudes and then take their money after you drug them. And just like Cardi B did, and she's like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that. You know what's a great way to make money? Fucking strange guys on your OnlyFans. She's like, yeah, I agree with that. Yes. Just see how far you can take it. Just see how far it goes.
Why is he turning pink, bro? Is it me? Why is he turning pink? Right? This dude is just changing a whole different shade of color. What am I looking at? What is he even saying, bro?
Evil Sartain has returned. Oh my god.
Well, they talk about believe all women, bro. I have homeboys that I grew up with for 25 years. I don't believe. I got family members I don't believe. You can expect I believe all women. I don't believe anybody. Like, people are going to say whatever makes their narrative the best. Politicians, you, me. I tell everybody the fucking Texas Longhorns are going to win the national championship. That's just my opinion. But it's whatever narrative people want to tell themselves, that's what they tell themselves.
Which goes back to my point I was saying earlier. You're a hypocrite. We just tell ourselves whatever it is, it is do as I say, not as I do. I would say something different, but behind the scenes, I'm doing something completely different, right? Again, it's just what it is. So the fact that you guys were just putting this out exclusively to the women's traits, behavioral traits, like literally not 3 seconds ago, like, and then you're just saying, hey, listen, I say whatever that makes me look good. Okay. So you're no different than the women. You just say whatever that puts you in the best light. Okay. So, I mean, what's the conversation here? I don't like the direction they're going, bro.
And women, because they live in the world of emotions, are more subject to their own personal narrative than men who have to live in the real world because we have to make money and live things.
Yeah. Okay. I'm done. All right. Yeah, so we kind of get an idea of what the new iteration is going to be. Yeah, you're going to sit there and say, oh, because, women are more emotional. We're acting like men aren't emotional right now. Are we going to sit there and act again? Are we going to sit here and act like men are the most rational dudes after we just sat through 4, 5, 6 years of Rollo Tomasi, Donovan Sharp, MLD, all of these so-called stoic masculine men crash out in the most emotional and craziest way, right? The guys who are leading the charge, the generals, these guys are the most emotional ones we've witnessed so far. And you're gonna say, oh no, it's the women still. I mean, it's the women. They're still emotional, right? I mean, it is. No, like, believe it or not, we're all led by our emotions, right? And so much so, emotions, and like even down to the decisions we make. Oftentimes, I mean, there's studies out there that even prove this, right? Our decisions are already made, and then we just backwards rationalize why we make those decisions, right? That's just what it is. A lot of stuff you can say is predetermined, but that's a whole different conversation, right? So when we're sitting there talking about how women and emotion to be led, no, a lot of people are being led by emotions, right? And they just rationalize their decisions afterwards. That's the human conditions. Congratulations, right? So again, I don't know. We're not going in a good direction with this, but there is a direction that we're heading in, right? And that is away from what the red pill has been the past current years, right? This emotional mess of dudes, arguing, fighting with women, talking about how better they are than women, and men are stronger, and if you got an Instagram, dump her, and all these different things. And you're seeing that there's a certain element of guys, even though they don't want to call themselves red pill, they're still red pill because they're connected to the same dudes, are now speaking up against that behavior, and they're splitting. And honestly, although it's small now because you still have the overhang of the pill poppers that we know and love, right? But over time, this iteration is going to be the new thing. All right. I'm telling you, I haven't been wrong with my predictions thus far. All right, chat. I have not been wrong with anyone. That's the reason why we're covering this video explicitly, because I'm telling you, I'm spotting the shift in the trend. And if someone like Mark Sartain, who's been riding Rollo's coat feathers for a hot minute through the whole Myron Fresh and Fit wave bullshit, right? Andrew Tate bullshit, even Saint the Sinner bullshit, right? If he's coming out and saying stuff like this that goes directly counter to what Rollo and the rest of you guys are talking about right now, you are looking at a split. Although small, because Mark Sartain is not making it a big thing, he's still giving credit to Rollo, because you got to pay the homage to Godfather, right? Otherwise, he bitches about it nonstop. But again, this is going to grow over time because a lot of men don't know what the new red pill is now, right? Y'all have gone so political, so far out of your mind. A bunch of your leaders now are a bunch of alt-right white supremacist supporters, right? It's gotten horrible. So a lot of the guys who are not trying to jump on that wave, right, are saying, where do I belong? Where's my home? Where do I go? Who do I listen to, right? Like, again, even go hand in hand with the video we covered with Saint the Sinner, basically splitting from the whole Myron group, right? Where he's calling out Myron in a subtle kind of way. Because with these guys, they're bitches. So it always starts out subtle before they grow a backbone and just say how it is, right? But again, it's the same thing with Saint the Sinner, where he's now differentiating himself with the whole Myron and the whole politics thing, right? When the red pill went political and took a huge lion's share of the populace with them, a bunch of people who are left are figuring out, what do we do now, right? And you're seeing these leaders pop out, and they're slowly starting to differentiate themselves from the old guards, right? So you're going to see more and more that happen, and we're going to cover it until the trend becomes inevitable, right? Because we're on top of it. It is what it is, right? But I don't blame them. See, y'all went down this racist route thinking it was going to get you somewhere because you hit a lull moment in your views, right? And now it's biting you in the ass because the community is fractured, or at least it's fracturing, soon to be fractured. So again, we're seeing the cracks, and I'm all here for it because it's hilarious. But Mike Sartain, who would have thought, is going against Rollo narrative now. We're going to be more aggressive, okay, ladies? You ladies in the streets out there, be ready. There's a bunch more guys coming at you. They're coming at you with some game, all right? Imagine, ladies, y'all walking down the street, a dude coming at you like this, like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3. What y'all gonna do, ladies? You see a dude coming at you. Hey, baby, what's up? You want to go out of the town? I wonder what they're gonna be teaching. That shit's gonna be funny. They're bringing pickup back, ladies. So get ready, because a bunch more men now over time are gonna start approaching you, because it's been a dry spell for a lot of these guys following Rollo. Yo, shout out to CJ OJ with the $5 super chat. CJ says, the only difference is that the new version focused on approaching women, but they still have most of the same toxic beliefs about women. Avoid them. Absolutely. This is why I'm skeptical about the new change, right? I'm skeptical about what Mike Sartain is saying, because it's like, bro, y'all are still saying the old toxic bullshit, bro. That you're not even looking at women as people. You're just, and some of that, you're even trying to stalk their fucking social media even before you meet them. It's like, what? People didn't do that back in the day, and they still got successful, right? If y'all try to bring that back, listen, I remember I still grew up in the days where you got to go get a woman's number. You put it on a little piece of paper, right? A little piece of paper like this, right? And then you write it down, put it in your pocket. You find a payphone, you pick up the phone, and you call. Or if you got a landline at home, you go ahead and hit her up on the landline when you get home, right? So again, today you're trying to say, no, we got to look at her social media. You would have never had a chance to do that back then. So that's what I'm saying. This new iteration they're still implementing the same old red pill toxic shit. That's why I said it's not going to work, right? You're going to see a bunch of dudes trying to approach women. And by the way, ladies, when they approach you, they've already stalked you. They've already stalked you. They stalked your social media and everything. It's kind of like a detective, right? So when they're asking you questions, but they already know the answer to it, they're just trying to catch you on a lot. That's what these guys are essentially preaching, right? And it's like, bro, if you're going to try to move into this new iteration of red pill to be more approaching of women, and, you know, but you want them to still have the old pill popping tendencies, you're creating an army of stalkers. We don't want that. That's not a good, that's a no-no. You don't want to do that, right? So again, I'm skeptical of Mike Sartain's brand of the red pill now, but it just goes to show you that the red pill has to change. They're in another transitionary moment. You're seeing young leaders coming up and almost in a way rebelling against the old guard and saying, fuck your avoidance mentality of avoiding women and getting vasectomies and all that bullshit. We're going to go on the offense and we're going to go attack and game these women, right? So, you know, a bunch more guys, they're going to be doing this at the grocery store, ladies. I'm just imagining a bunch of dudes now listening to the new guys just coming out there. Ooh, ready to mingle. Hey, listen, chat. Listen, I just hope, I'm glad that they're doing this, all right? If finally there's a movement out there motivating guys to go out and touch grass, although I just don't like the style in which the way they're going about it. But hey, you know, when they meet up with reality, they'll find out. But chat, y'all let me know what you think about this whole ordeal. I know we kind of hit you early with the stream. I've been busy, bro. I'm learning a whole new thing right now, and it's just been grinding at me, all right? Any of you guys who are very skilled in Laravel for backend APIs, hit me up in the Discord, okay? We got to talk. I want to talk to you, especially because, like, if your front-end framework is React, there's something I'm missing here. All right. So hit me up in a chat in the Discord test discussions because I'm frying my mind right now. I've been busy out of my mind, but we're gonna be back at it with the next one. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. But honestly, y'all let me know what you think about this, what you think about the new iteration of the red pill. You think it's gonna catch fire? Are you happy that guys are gonna now start approaching more women? Ladies, y'all let me know what you think. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Oh shit. I almost forgot a video, chat.
But ass.